car displaced the horse because it was better. The electric car is going to be better.
We have been bamboozled. We thought that not only was Tim going to bring back some of the V8s in the meantime, but also solidify those V8s within the Stellantis lineup for years to come. And it looks like that is not going to be the case. Let's get into everything. Oh man, I'm starting this video off on the wrong foot. I got a Toyota parked behind me instead of my Jeep. I do own a Jeep. I have a Jeep shirt, so we got that going for us. Now, Tim Kuniskis, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, so we're just gonna call him Tim K for the rest of the video so that I don't butcher his name. He was recently interviewed by CNBC. Now, I will include the whole video that they posted in the description down below. I have to anyways because I'm using a couple clips from it and we don't want to have a copyright infringement situation here on YouTube. So go watch their video, really well produced. And in this video, as you guys saw with that first little clip, and I'll include the other clips throughout this video so you can see kind of his take on certain things, he believes that EVs are the future. And so I think that we all thought with him coming back that, you know, V8s are going to stay, right? Because he's the SRT guy, he's the V8 guy. Like, the only thing that I really know him for other than kind of running the company is being the guy that goes and shouts in the microphone and tells us that the TRX is coming and, you know, the red eye and this, right? He's always at the announcement events telling us about the next new V8 car. And so we kind of all associate him with that. But like there's a person behind that figure, and the person is someone who believes that electric cars are the future for the car industry. Again, I'll include the first clip after this little thing. In the first clip, he basically says that electric cars are much better than people realize, and most people hate on electric cars because they've never driven those electric cars.
Kind of typecast with, you know, I'm the Hemi guy, I'm the supercharger guy, I'm the Hellcat guy, all that kind of stuff. And it's weird to hear you talk about electric vehicles. A lot of times people that bash electric vehicles have never driven one. Electric cars, they have their faults. There's no question they have their faults, but they are fantastic.
You know, I just don't agree with him because I've talked to a lot of people and pretty much everyone has already driven an electric car at this point. They've already driven a Tesla or, you know, the Ford Mustang Mach-E or one of the Hyundai electric cars. Like, I don't think that the automakers realize that most people have, in fact, looked into electric cars and driven those electric cars and decided that they don't like those cars. It's not just about the range. It's about the driving dynamics. It's about the look of a lot of these electric cars. And yeah, it definitely is about the range. It's definitely about the charging infrastructure. But even if you got that stuff dialed in, there's plenty of people, myself included, that still would not want to go electric because I prefer a lot of elements in ICE-powered cars. Like seriously, I do not care how much horsepower your electric car has. It will never sound like this. And I don't care if you put a speaker in the back to make it sound like this. Like, that's absolutely beautiful. Listen to that. And I want the real sound. Like, I want to know that it's an actual engine making that sound, not a speaker and all of that junk. Like, you just can't replace it. And it's not just the sound, it's also the drama that an ICE car has. Even a 4-cylinder turbo is more exciting than 99% of electric cars. Yes, the electric cars are quick from 0 to 60, but they're absolutely soulless. Even a 4-cylinder turbo, I mean, I think Mercedes has proven this with some of their 4-cylinder AMG cars. Like, it has character, it has drama to it. I think that these automakers don't realize that we don't want perfect with the car. We want something that is good enough, but then is also somewhat exciting. And I know they'll say, well, the general population doesn't care about that. And I don't think that's true, because when I talk to regular people, even regular people that aren't like quote unquote car enthusiasts, they still want the car to have some level of excitement to it. And the, you know, super fast 0 to 60 electric cars is fun for like a week, but after that, it fades. Whereas ICE cars are always exciting. Like that V8 Wrangler, even 40 years from today, will still be exciting. I mean, there's a reason why, you know, people buy those old school muscle cars and restore them, because of the excitement and also because like the mechanical nature, the simplicity. I don't think that automakers realize people want simplicity again, and they're still pushing to go away from simplicity. This leads us into the next clip, where I think it's actually a real mask off moment for the automakers. I think that Tim K said the quiet part out loud at the end, where he states that automakers have invested so much money into these electric cars that the electric car thing just kind of has to happen.
500-mile range, lighter solid-state batteries, inductive charging, sufficient infrastructure, and prices that are comparable to gas engines, Kuniskis is confident all these will happen.
When you get there, you will get mass adoption. The problem is, we tried to force mass adoption before we got there. The car displaced the horse because it was better. The electric car is going to be better. We just have a lot of challenges in the industry that we have to overcome first, and we will overcome them. We have to, because as an industry, we've invested about $500 billion in this.
This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest problems with the car industry today, is that automakers invested so much money into electric cars, and they've now passed down those costs onto ICE cars, which means that us as consumers are paying more for ICE cars than we would have if these automakers didn't invest so much money into these electric cars. And so on top of electric cars causing everything to be more expensive, we're also at a point where the automakers feel like they're in too deep to back out. I think overall the logic within the auto industry is just massively flawed with this whole situation. And here's what I see actually happening. I think we're going to have a 33% adoption rate with electric cars in the long run. We're right at about 7%. That 7% rate is going to probably decline after all of the tax incentives go away in the near future. We're probably going to drop to like maybe 3 or 4% with EV adoption. But why do I think 33%? Well, Utah currently has a massive electric adoption rate compared to the rest of the country. And I think that Utah is kind of like the starting place of what's going to happen throughout the rest of the country. What's happening in Utah right now is pretty much every household is going out and buying an electric car. Now, why are they doing this? Are they replacing their ICE car? Typically not. What's happening is that most households are buying an electric car for day-to-day commuting, and then they have another vehicle that's their family car, and sometimes they have a third vehicle, if they can afford it, that's either a fun vehicle or it's like a backup car, backup commuter car in case another one of the cars breaks. I mean, my wife and I are a perfect example of that. We have our Jeep Wrangler, which is our fun car. That is my commuter car, the Toyota Land Cruiser, and then my wife, our family car is a Sequoia currently. We're going to be switching things up in the near future, but we're a good example of that. And that's pretty common across Utah. And I think it's going to become more common across the country where you're not going to see 3 cars in a household, but you're going to see 2 cars in a household. One's electric, that's the commuter car, and then you're going to have either a hybrid or a traditional ICE car that is the family car / just other car. I just don't think that people are going to go all in on electric. Some people will, some families will, but the whole country, no. And so automakers going all in on electric cars, I think is just incredibly foolish because they're massively over-investing and over-gauging the size of the market. I think if they looked at the electric car market as right now it's 7, down the road it'll maybe be 20 to maybe 30%, and they invested, based on that, things would be way better off. We would have more hybrids, we would have better, more efficient ICE cars, and the electric cars would have the amount of funding that they need because, what I see right now, frankly, when I go and review cars, I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, but what I see right now is I see these electric cars have all this stuff stuffed into them, and then there's nobody buying them. Mercedes with the EQ cars was great. Like, those cars have so much stuffed into them. Like, they're a fantastic automobile. Nobody cares about them. Nobody's buying them. And so it's like, why put all this time, effort, and energy into something that people aren't going to buy? I think that automakers forget that they're businesses that are supposed to make products that customers actually want to buy. So in closing, Tim K and Stellantis are giving us V8s right now, but their long-term plan is to go in on the turbocharged engines and to go in on the fully electric. They think that's the future of the car industry. So just understand that. And me personally, I think this is flawed. I think that the adoption rate of electric cars is never going to be as high as what any of these, big wigs at the car companies think. And if the car companies continue to go down this route, they're going to continue to lose customers. And not only that, they're going to continue to lose tons and tons of money. Stop wasting the money. Invest into the proper powertrains. I'll see you.